UK's supermarket giant Tesco says it wants the government to ban the sale of cut-price alcohol by bringing in new laws to stop it. Leading doctors and bosses at the high street giant are calling for urgent action to be taken against Britain's drinking culture. Later today, the British Medical Association will outline what it thinks needs to be done to stop what's being called an alcohol epidemic. Ashish Joshi with this.
It's affordable, it's available, and it's ruining our lives. We know the dangers of binge drinking, but that doesn't stop us being bombarded with even cheaper offers. Now the country's most powerful supermarket will ask the government to ban bargain booze. Tesco says it will now support legislation to ensure responsible alcohol pricing. The supermarket giant and its rivals have come under fire in the past for selling alcohol at heavily discounted prices.
Alcohol is now around 65% more affordable than it was 15 years ago. We know that price has a huge determinant effect in whether people buy alcohol or don't buy alcohol, so price is a big factor.
The alcohol problem isn't exclusively a supermarket issue. This is the shocking scene played out on high streets across the country on most weekends. Boozed Up Britain isn't just a snappy catchline, it's a pretty fair description. According to the British Medical Association, the UK is in the midst of an epidemic and alcohol misuse is spiralling out of control.
I think it's obvious to every GP that there's an alcohol crisis at the moment. In my surgery, I see more and more patients who drink purely to get drunk.
A new BMA report published today calls for greater restrictions on the availability and access to alcohol, and a better understanding of the impact of 24-hour licensing. The report also makes recommendations about supermarket cut-price deals. Perhaps it is a coincidence that Tesco has decided to take its stance on cheap booze on the same day as the publication of this report. Or maybe it's a realization that cheap booze is destroying lives, and it's about time something was done about it. Ashish Joshi, Sky News, Central London.
OK, let's go to Neil Patterson now in Westminster. Neil, what's the likely reaction to this going to be?
Well, Eamon, perhaps I'm just getting cynical in my old age, but like Ashish, I think the suspicion must be that on a day when the BMA are expected to recommend wholesale changes to the way that we govern the system, govern the rules around cheap alcohol, we hear Tesco coming out and saying, well, quite frankly, we want to assist you in that. I think the government will appreciate the move. Certainly what Tesco are saying is absolutely accurate. First of all, if they were on their own to put up their prices, it would be commercial suicide. Secondly, they cannot get together with the other major retailers and put up their prices together because of competition laws. And certainly it's been the case that there have been moves afoot to change the system for quite some time. Alcohol-related antisocial behaviour is rarely off the front pages of the papers, particularly the right-wing press. So I think on that basis alone, the government will appreciate the fact that the United Kingdom's biggest retailer is willing to work with them in this one.